Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Katie with John Henry's, and today I'm here to share a special recipe with you for preparing the perfect game day Philly cheesesteak sliders. So for this recipe, you're going to need 2 pounds of our sizzle steak. Now our sizzle steak is cut from the bottom sirloin, which is a primal cut of the beef. This is a very lean cut of meat, and I will just show you here. Our butcher actually slices it on our deli slicer very thinly, and it makes it great for steak subs or for stir fries. Our sizzle steak is sold in 1 pound packages. For this recipe though, we are going to need 2 pounds. Sizzle steak is definitely one of our most popular cuts of beef because it's so versatile. But keep in mind that we do slice the sizzle steak and immediately package it, which takes out all of the oxygen. So when it arrives to you, it may be darker in color or maybe even have a little bit of a gray tint. It's perfectly normal, and it is definitely doesn't affect the quality or the taste of the meat. It's just an indicator that we don't use any gases or anything else to preserve the meat and to make it that bright red color that you see at the grocery store. It's just its natural color with the oxygen removed. Okay, so now we're gonna start the prep. And I do find that prepping everything ahead of time makes things go much quicker. So we're gonna set the sizzle steak aside and we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna first take our sliders, which I really like to use these Hawaiian dinner rolls. These actually work really, really well for the slider buns. So when you take them out of the package though, you do need to slice them so that way you can put them in your pan. Now you can use a baking sheet or you can use a glass casserole dish. It's totally up to you and what you have available. You just need something for the buns to sit on. There we go. They fit really nice in this dish, and then I'm going to actually take off the tops and we're going to spread mayonnaise on the top part of the bun. This just adds a little extra flavor. Okay, now that I'm just about done with the mayonnaise, we're going to take provolone cheese. Now you can use pepper jack if you prefer something to be a little bit spicier, but my family really likes the smokiness of the provolone. So I'm going to take provolone cheese and I'm going to line the bottom part of the buns. So just make sure that you take the cheese slices and just line everything. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and set aside the tops of the buns and the bottoms of the buns, and we're gonna get cooking the meat. Oh yeah, we almost forgot the onion. We don't wanna forget the onion. Those are really important. So make sure that you have a nice sweet onion, and we're gonna go ahead and actually cut this into small pieces so that we can fry it at the bottom of our pan in the butter and then lay our steak on top of it. So I like to cut mine very thinly, usually doing tiny little pieces so that way it and it just jumps right off the cutting board. That way it'll be really great layered with the steak. All right, now that the onion is just about finished up, I wanted to let you know that you can add green pepper as well. A lot of people like green pepper in their Philly cheesesteak subs, so that's something that you could add as well. But today, I'm just going to do the onion. So I think that's enough onion for right now, and we're gonna get to cooking. All right, it's time to start cooking. We're gonna go ahead and turn our stove on to medium high heat. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter to our pan. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a couple chunks. If you've seen any of my videos, you know we can never have enough butter. So we're gonna just let that heat up, and then we're going to start adding in our onions, and then we will add and season our meat. All right, now our butter is sizzling, so we're gonna go ahead and add in some onions. So I'm gonna just add in these small pieces. See, that's why I like to thinly slice them, so that way they easily break apart in the pan and are going to get cooked all up here. They're gonna really add a lot of delicious flavor to the meat as well. Perfect. All right, so we'll just let those soften a little bit, and then we'll start adding the steak. So while my onions are cooking, I am gonna just lay out some of the meat, because when you do receive it in a vacuum-packed bag, it does kind of stick together. So it is sometimes a little bit of a challenge, but that's okay. Okay, it looks like our onions are about ready, and it's time to put in the meat. So I'm just gonna lay the steak right over the onions. Oh, yes. Oh, I can already smell it cooking in the butter. So once I have this about covered, I'm going to actually then add my seasoning. Because the sizzle steak is so thin, you want to make sure that you don't add too much seasoning. So I do make sure that I have my pan pretty well covered with meat. And then I'll just sprinkle some seasoning over it. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt as well. There we go. Okay, and you'll be able to see that it's starting to brown. I'm gonna start flipping it over to get the other side nice and brown. I'm not gonna worry about seasoning the other side, because as we are mixing this all together, the seasoning is just going to get all over. Now I just move the steak over to the side and start adding in some more. And now that the steak is all browned on the one side here, I'm going to actually just start stacking it on top of each other. And I'm sure you can see this really cooks up so quickly. Okay, this is looking all browned. Sometimes I just like to fry it just a little bit longer to get it a little bit crispy and get those little brown marks on it, but it's gonna be ready to put on our buns here in just a second. Doesn't this look delicious? And as you can see, it's perfect for these sliders and perfect for a stir fry, even like maybe like one of those like beef and broccoli stir fries. Oh my goodness, yes. You can see why this is one of our most popular cuts of beef. All right, looks like it's done. I've already preheated the oven to 375 degrees, and we're ready to put this on the buns. Okay, let's start transferring this meat to the buns. And you're just going to lay it out onto the cheese. Oh my goodness. These are the perfect game day sliders, especially if you have friends or family coming over to maybe watch a Super Bowl, March Madness, World Series, anytime. These are delicious. So we're just going to spread the meat all across the cheese. Okay, now that I've got this all topped and looking great. I'm going to now just put one more layer of cheese for good measure. Okay. Oh my goodness. So then we're going to just pop it in the oven, and it will be ready to go in about 20 minutes as soon as the cheese melts. It's ready to go. Let's top them with our buns. All right, so these are ready to go in the oven. If you're enjoying this video and would like to see more recipes from our farm, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to follow this exact same recipe that I did today, please see the link in the description below. Okay, it's ready. The timer has went off and it's been 20 minutes, and we're going to take out the sliders and see how wonderful they turned out. Ooh. Beautiful brown bun tops and beautifully melted cheese. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these and get them ready to serve. So you're just gonna cut along the bun lines naturally. And then we're going to slice them this way as well. All right, these sliders are ready to serve. I know that your family and friends are going to really enjoy this recipe. And thank you so much for watching and supporting our farm.